In this world coexists a hero fighting for the Empire and the Demon King, the ruler of the demon realm. The hero's mission is to slay the Demon King, who, in turn, exists solely to kill the hero. Those loyal to the Demon King are called squad leaders, 12 powerful subordinates of the Demon King. The commander of the Zero Squad, Demon Eret, known as the Demon King's Joker, delivered a resignation letter, surprising the Demon King. Despite the chaos that ensued, Eret remained unmoved. The Demon King, unwilling to let him go, interrogated him about his decision. Eret revealed his intention to leave peacefully, prompting the Demon King's concern. A nosebleed interrupted their conversation, a consequence of Eret's battle against the hero. Summoning a Zero Squad doctor named Ben, the Demon King emphasized the urgency of Eret's recovery. Eret, born with a weak body, concealed this fact to maintain his position. Feeling like an outsider despite the reverence, Eret resolved to leave the demon realm. Ed, the counselor of the Zero Squad commander, entered, bringing news of a new cube. However, his concern for Eret overshadowed the cube's significance. Grateful but resolute, Eret yearned for a peaceful life away from the demon realm. As the Demon King contemplated Eret's resignation letter, he recalled their unpredictable encounters. From Eret's heroic feats to his unexpected loyalty, the Demon King couldn't decipher the enigma. The Demon King wondered about Eret's true intentions. Eret's hope for rest dwindled as the Demon King summoned him for a meeting with all commanders. Unsettled, Eret entered the meeting room, where tension lingered. Demons speculated about Eret's mood and whispered rumors about his stress. Misunderstandings deepened, but Eret saw an advantage: the lack of interference. Concealing his weakness was crucial until he left the demon realm. In the meeting room, commanders awaited, and Eret felt a chill of fear. The first squad's commander, Jar, directed Eret to sit next to the Demon King, intensifying the unease. The third squad's commander, Ao, perceived Eret as an ordinary weakling, desiring a confrontation. Velton, commander of the sixth squad, criticized Eret's tardiness, but Adelia, commander of the fourth squad, defended him. Tensions rose, with conflicting opinions on Eret's worthiness. Eret maintained composure, concealing his true feelings. The meeting unfolded, promising revelations that could impact Eret's quest for a peaceful life outside the demon realm. If it was still alive, the battle raged on, and Eret, fueled by the rare demon realm wine, displayed remarkable strength. His blade danced through the horde of demonic monsters, leaving destruction in its wake. The settlement, once ablaze, now echoed with the sounds of combat. The demonic monsters, driven by instinct, faced the relentless assault of the Zero Squad. Ed, grateful for Eret's intervention, marveled at his boss's prowess in battle. However, he couldn't help but wonder where Eret had acquired the forbidden wine. As the battle reached its peak, the Demon King in the castle received inquiries about the Zero Squad's ability to handle the overwhelming number of demonic monsters. Some suggested sending reinforcements, but the Demon King remained confident in the strength of the Zero Squad, especially with Lord Otis leading them. In the midst of the chaos, Ed, momentarily caught off guard, found himself face to face with a demonic monster. He braced for the worst, ready to bid farewell to life. However, Eret's swift intervention saved him from the monster's onslaught. As the battle continued, Eret's blade became a beacon of hope for the Zero Squad. His movements were fluid, his attacks precise. Ed, still reeling from the close call, realized that Eret's behavior mirrored that of someone who had indulged in a drink. Bewildered, he pondered where Eret had procured the mysterious alcohol, as none had been brought along. In a moment of respite, Eret turned to Ed and inquired if he was an enemy. Relieved, Ed affirmed their friendship, understanding that his boss exhibited such behavior only after imbibing. With newfound clarity, Ed marveled at Eret's unique fighting style, wondering if the effects of the demon realm wine had unlocked hidden depths of his strength. The battle pressed on, and the fate of the settlement hung in the balance. Eret, the unexpected hero, continued to carve a path through the demonic horde, determined to fulfill his duty and, perhaps, find a way to escape the demonic realm. To say it, he had to agree with Jorah that perhaps sparring in Otis's current condition wasn't the best idea. Otis, relieved by the unexpected turn of events, thanked Jorah for his concern and assured everyone that he needed more time to recover fully. Jorah, feeling a strange mix of disappointment and relief, nodded in agreement. Adelia and Azel exchanged a glance, realizing that perhaps challenging Otis in his weakened state might not be the honor they envisioned. Ed, who had been silently observing the unfolding situation, understood the delicate balance of Otis's position. He expressed his gratitude to Jar for considering Otis's well-being and subtly emphasized the importance of the Zero Squad leader's health. The atmosphere in the room shifted, and Otis, though still bewildered by the unexpected sparing proposal, felt a strange sense of victory. He silently hoped that the demons would forget the idea altogether, allowing him to continue his plan to escape the demon realm. As the conversation shifted away from the sparring match, Otis contemplated the peculiar dynamics within the demon realm. The demon's perceptions of him were a complex web of admiration, fear, and misunderstanding. He realized that navigating this intricate world required a delicate balance between asserting strength and feigning weakness. Otis, frustrated, kicked a stone, unintentionally hitting a demon. The demons, recognizing Otis, bowed, apologized, and assured him they had settled the matter with the girl, a low incubus who blocked their path. Left alone with the girl, Otis pondered the hierarchy of demons, realizing the demons had gathered to bully her. The demons bowed to Otis, explaining they wouldn't interfere with him anymore. Otis, left alone with the girl, extended a surprising hand, offering reassurance. The girl, initially frightened, was astonished by Otis's kindness. She questioned whether he felt disgusted by her, an incubus. Otis reassured her, emphasizing they were equals. The girl, moved, expressed her gratitude, wanting to repay Otis immediately. Otis, uncomfortable, found himself in an unexpected situation, wondering how to navigate the newfound attention. The Demon King entered Otis's room, expecting to inquire about his well-being, but found Otis missing. Having declined the garden tour offer, found himself relieved in the castle courtyard. The girl, named Heen, sought to repay Otis's kindness by showing him the garden. Otis, imagining a peaceful sanctuary, questioned the existence of a garden in the demon castle. Heen, the gardener, revealed the garden and apologized for forgetting to introduce herself. On the way to the garden, Otis anticipated a serene place, but upon arrival encountered unexpected dangers. A mischievous plant almost attacked him, startling Otis. Heen scolded the plant, and Otis, unnerved, fabricated an urgent matter to escape the garden, leaving Heen disappointed. Otis, now wary, questioned the normalcy of the seemingly beautiful garden. As he rushed away, Heen vowed to prepare a gift for Otis, contemplating the cutest plant as a gesture of gratitude. Rutha hurriedly left the demon garden, realizing the futility of expecting normalcy within the Demon King's castle. He contemplated staying in his room due to the pervasive dangers outside, but acknowledged the necessity of meeting the Zero Squad despite the shame of his previous chaotic actions. The Demon King and Ed insisted on the meeting, echoing in Eric's memory as words of encouragement. Arriving at the training room, Eric found it empty but decided to explore and wait. Spotting wooden training swords, he seized one, contemplating a test of his skills. The wooden sword proved too heavy, solidifying Eric's sense of inadequacy. However, his worries were dispelled when the Zero Squad cheerfully greeted him, expressing admiration for his performance in the last mission, which Eric couldn't recall. Attempting to commend them for their success, Eric assured them he was fine. The demons, however, whispered amongst themselves about his fatigue. Eric, unaware of their concerns, suggested they resume training while he observed. As he spoke, Eric twisted his leg, avoiding a direct fall but attracting the attention of an assassin. The assassin, aiming to strike Eric from behind, faced an unexpected dodge. Eric, unintentionally dodging, crouched to avoid falling. The assassin's attack missed, and Eric accidentally elbowed him in the nose. Astonished, the assassin called Eric a bastard, revealing himself as a human. Eric questioned the intruder's presence in the Demon King's castle. The Zero Squad, realizing the stranger was an outsider, approached them. Eric, seemingly calm, swung his wooden sword, apprehending the assassin. The demons, feeling disappointment, vowed to train harder to earn Eric's recognition. The incident fueled the Zero Squad's determination to train together and become worthy companions of Sir Otis. Meanwhile, Eric, nursing his sore wrist, retired to his room after the eventful day. Upon waking, Eric found the Demon King waiting for him. The king explained that they needed Eric's assistance concerning the imprisoned murderer, who turned out to be a human with unusual strength. As Eric approached the cell, the king revealed that the man was another hero, someone who chose to spread their power across the continent upon facing death in battle with a Demon King. Eric grappled with the revelation, questioning the Empire's motives in sending a hero into the heart of the demonic realm. The king, holding the beaten hero by the hair, asked Eric if the murderer looked familiar. Eric, still uncertain, tried to make sense of the situation and the unexpected presence of another hero within the demon's domain. The king clarified that the beaten man was not a hero but more of a hero candidate or a remnant of a hero. Eric agreed inwardly, acknowledging the man's weakness but still considering him a hero. The king granted Eric a moment alone with the man, and Eric pondered why the assassin targeted only him. The assassin, addressing Eric as Diane Hart, accused him of betrayal, claiming he had defected to the demon's side after earning the Emperor's trust. Eric laughed, dismissing the notion, suggesting the assassin was a mere pawn. The assassin insisted he had a mission to eliminate a traitor to the Emperor, but Eric's confident denial left the assassin doubting his purpose. Exiting the cell, Eric left the assassin cursing the Emperor. The Demon King, awaiting outside, inquired about their course of action. Eric, disinterested in the assassin, suggested killing him. The king agreed, deciding to handle the matter personally. However, in return, Eric would have to undertake a task for him. The Demon King revealed a pressing situation. The first squad needed immediate assistance against a real hero, not just a hero candidate. Eric was tasked with this mission. Confused, Eric questioned the king's motive in sending both a hero fragment and a real hero simultaneously. The king asked Arutha to handle the mission and summoned Eric to accompany him. Eric, still perplexed, questioned his destination, receiving no clear answer. He waited for the carriage, lost in thoughts about how he ended up in this situation. As he embarked on another uncertain journey, Eric grappled with a sense of impending madness, triggered by the continuous stream of chaotic events. Upon reaching the destination, Renaud, the commander of the 11th Squad, greeted Eric enthusiastically. She presented him with a pendant, claiming it would protect him from death. Eric, hesitant at first, accepted the gift, feeling it impolite to refuse. As he pondered the pendant's significance, he instinctively stroked Renaud's head, earning gratitude from the girl. Prepared for departure, Eric boarded the carriage, with Ed observing his boss. Ed, aware of the ominous events on the front lines, noted Eric's happiness despite the impending challenges. Renaud's cheerful greeting from above further accentuated the strange mix of emotions. The journey unfolded with uncertainty lingering, and Eric's past achievements and their consequences weighed on his mind. On the battlefield, the hero from the last war confronted Eric. The hero decided to face the Demon King alone, leaving Eric with the task of reporting the battle's outcome to the Empire. Curious about Eric's motivations, the hero departed, leaving Eric to contemplate his wishes and the Emperor's expectations. Diane Hart, stationed from afar, watched the battle unfold. Their group suffered defeat and the hero opted for self-destruct magic. Diane, conflicted and relieved, decided to report the outcome to the Emperor. However, as he attempted to leave discreetly, a demon detected him, labeling him a little bug and launching an attack. Diane struggled to fend off the demon, realizing his escape was becoming increasingly challenging. Amidst, they were astonished to see a man who had effortlessly defeated the ogre, the 7th Squad commander, and even caught the attention of the Demon King himself. Diane, recovering from the ordeal, realized the gravity of his situation. Not only had he landed in the enemy camp, but he had inadvertently become a formidable force. The demons, frightened by Diane's strength, also observed the Demon King eyeing him with a mix of curiosity and hostility. Nearby, a dying hero questioned Diane's presence, puzzled by his survival and the sudden halt of the self-destruction process. The hero, in his final moments, appealed to the gods to grant Diane a fragment of hero power. A bright flash enveloped them, and Diane felt a surge of power. However, he soon realized his body couldn't withstand the hero's fragment. Despite the agony, Diane wore a smile, embracing what seemed like his inevitable end. The Demon King, intrigued, inquired about Diane's name and questioned his laughter in such dire circumstances. Diane, hoping to please the king, mentioned his name and struggled to comprehend the Demon King's unexpected proposal. The Demon King assured Diane not to worry about the ongoing human-demon confrontation. He suggested that, after witnessing the demon realm, Diane would abandon any thoughts of resisting. Diane, bewildered by the turn of events, faced a future where others perceived him as a formidable force, a misconception he had unwittingly acquired since that fateful day. As the narrative shifted back to Eric, he and Ed arrived at the border between the human world and the demon world, the front line of the ongoing confrontation between demons and the Empire. The commander of the 1st Squad, Jaker, greeted Eric, revealing the dire state of affairs at the front line. Jaker expressed apologies for the lull, emphasizing the need for Eric to prepare for the upcoming battle. However, to Eric's shock, Jaker clarified that he wanted Eric to join the battle immediately when the Empire troops appeared. Eric, taken aback, couldn't fathom the idea of sitting out the battle. In the meantime, at the Empire's barracks, news reached Cruel, the hero, about the involvement of the commander of the Zero Squad, Joker, in the upcoming battle. Cruel, skeptical of Joker's existence, deemed it necessary to confirm the truth before devising a plan. Back in the demon realm, Ed tended to Eric's injuries, expressing concern about his well-being. Eric, contemplating his role in the upcoming battle, contemplated the loyalty Ed showed despite Eric's perceived weaknesses. As Ed finished the bandaging, Eric pondered whether Ed might be more than a demon, perhaps an angel. Ed, exuding enthusiasm, spoke of a specially crafted cloth from the Demon King that enhanced Eric's capabilities. Eric, now comfortably dressed, moved around, and Ed continued to exude optimism, emphasizing the strength of Zero Squad and Sir Rudis. Ed mentioned the rigorous practice the squad underwent since the Hero Fragment invasion. Eric, feigning a need to check on the 9th Squad leader's corpse, sought an excuse to find a place to hide during the upcoming battle. As he stepped outside, he encountered demons surprised by his presence in their midst. Back in the demon camp, Eric pondered the recent attempt on his life and the realization that he needed to be cautious, even among his own ranks. He decided to be more vigilant and acknowledged the danger that his position as the Zero Squad commander brought. As Eric stood outside his tent, demons were mobilized to search for any remaining intruders. The commander of the first squad, Joker, addressed the demons, emphasizing the severity of the situation and the need to ensure the safety of their camp. The demons were surprised that someone had infiltrated their territory, and Eric, though aware of the spy, kept the information to himself. Ed approached Eric, expressing apologies for not detecting the intruder sooner. Eric dismissed the apology, believing that the assassin must have been highly skilled to infiltrate undetected. He contemplated the risks of his position, realizing that even the Empire sought his demise. Meanwhile, back in the Empire's camp, Cruel, the hero, strategized with his advisor about the threat posed by the Zero Squad commander. The confirmation of the commander's abilities had shifted the balance of power, making the hero rethink his approach to the ongoing conflict. The advisor suggested finding the missing hero heart to strengthen their forces against the formidable demons. As Eric continued to navigate the complexities of his role, he seized a bottle of wine from a demon, suspecting the glass rather than the liquid. Ed confirmed that the bottle was sealed, leading Eric to declare the safety of the wine inside. However, Eric's actions also raised concerns about the potential threats within their own ranks. The hero Cruel, aware of the strength of the Zero Squad commander, sought to bolster the Empire's forces by locating the missing hero heart. The dynamics between the demons and the Empire shifted as both sides prepared for the impending confrontation. Eric whispered about his failing body, the toll of the battle evident. Jar noted that Eric had shown remarkable strength, emerging from nowhere to alter the course of the battle. Despite his recognition, Jar felt an uneasy atmosphere around Eric, perhaps due to his mysterious nature. The hero Cruel, having accepted defeat and acknowledging the devastation among his troops, retreated from the battlefield. The demon soldiers were jubilant about forcing the hero's retreat, but Jar saw it as a missed opportunity to capitalize on the demoralized Empire troops. As Jar praised Eric's feats, the Zero Squad captain collapsed. Ed and Ben rushed to his side, expressing concern and questioning if he was alright. It was evident that Eric was far from okay, and the group deliberated on how to handle the situation. Meanwhile, in the Demon King's castle, Rel's distress caught the attention of the Demon King himself. The aide attempted to dissuade Rel from leaving, emphasizing the Demon King's order to guard the barrier. However, Rel was resolute and determined to save Eric, knowing the danger he faced without the protective pendant. With Eric's deteriorating condition, Jar's acknowledgement of Eric's prowess, and Rel's decision to defy the Demon King's order to protect the barrier, the stage was set for further developments and challenges in the ongoing conflict between the demons and the Empire. King Joker praised Eric for his achievements on the battlefield, expressing satisfaction that he hadn't disappointed the king by creating chaos. Eric, however, was somber and had news to share about the new hero. The king, observing Eric's mood, suggested they discuss matters inside. The commander of the second squad also brought news about the hero. Eric changed into fresh clothes and returned to the king, who handed him a stack of documents to study. The documents held fascinating information that surprised Eric. Lost in his reading, he suddenly heard his name being called. Confused, he realized he was inside the Demon King's castle. Back on the battlefield, Reno, tearfully relieved, clung to Eric, ecstatic that he had survived. Eric, disoriented and unaware of his actions, remembered nothing from his dreams. Reno praised him for squeezing the new hero and protecting the demon territories, but Eret was preoccupied with the realization that he had drunk again and caused chaos. He found himself holding a dossier on the hero named Cruel Heart, his older brother. Faced with this revelation, Eret said his goodbyes to Reno, pondering the Emperor's decision to make his brother a hero. He contemplated returning to the Empire, recalling the Demon King's instructions to act as a spy. Eret was sealed with tracking magic and insurance, ensuring he reported any useful findings to the Demon King. In his room, Eret decided to quit drinking and reflected on his tendency to lose memories under stress. Ed entered, revealing that the king knew Eret was heading to the human world. Ed expressed concern about Eret leaving and was surprised when the king offered him the position of squad leader. Ed hesitated, contemplating the responsibility in the void left by the 9th Squad commander. Eret, curious about the conversation, asked Ed what the Demon King had said. Ed, evasive, hinted that it wasn't urgent. As Eret prepared to leave for the human world, he bid farewell to Ed, who appeared concerned. Eret, sensing there might be more, offered to bring back something from the Empire. Ed, respecting Eret's caring nature, declined the offer and expressed his preference to remain as deputy commander under Sir Otis. Guarding the gates of the manor, bored sentinels spotted a cloaked figure approaching. They stopped him, emphasizing that this was Earl Hart's estate, not a place for casual strolls. Disregarding their words, the man, seemingly unfazed, ordered the gate to be opened, causing chaos. Servants lined up to greet Diane as he entered, and Hart, the loyal butler, added a sense of familiarity. Diane, tired of preparations, declined a room and decided to meet the Emperor immediately. Duke Usterstrel learned of Diane's return and strategized with Cruel about potential threats. They considered involving the Assassin's Guild and the Revolutionary Army as backup. Meanwhile, Diane, prepared for the Emperor's audience, wore a mask, concealing his identity. Art the butler expressed admiration for Diane's growth, but surprised him by announcing his resignation upon his return. Diane, taken aback, soon realized it was a playful joke. As he entered the carriage, Diane noticed a crowd of guards accompanying him, questioning the need for so many. Diane contemplated the contrasting power dynamics between the demon world and the Empire. The carriage abruptly stopped and Diane, confused, witnessed an attack by the Revolutionary Army. Clad in blue armbands, the attackers aimed for Dion, shouting accusations. Diane, grappling with his dagger, found himself overpowered. A crazed assailant taunted him as a weakling hero, eager to end his life. Suddenly, a shout interrupted the impending danger. 3 men in white, recognized as murderous ghost knights, intervened, deflecting the assassin's axe. The assailant, realizing Diane's identity, became uneasy, and the ghost knights contemplated their next move. Murderous ghost knights, feared for their lack of rationality, followed orders with extreme brutality. They rushed into battle, not to save or protect, but with cries to kill everyone brutally. The assassin, realizing the threat, sought to quickly kill Diane Hart and escape. However, Diane, using his fingernails, inflicted pain on the assassin's hand, tearing pieces of it. In retaliation, Diane swung the assassin's axe, ending his life. Covered in blood, Diane sat on the corpse, ensuring that the scene left an unforgettable impression. The ghost knights, witnessing Diane's ruthless actions, pondered their purpose. One knight suggested that Diane seemed capable of handling the situation alone, questioning their necessity. Diane, standing amidst the carnage, urged the knights to finish off the remaining enemies. As the carriage approached the imperial palace, guards noticed the blood-soaked state and attempted to stop it. Diane, eager to see the emperor, brushed aside their concerns, revealing his name. The guard, uneasy about the situation, allowed Diane's entry, and he headed to the banquet hall. In the banquet hall, a celebration was underway for the new hero, Cruel Heart. Diane, covered in blood, made a dramatic entrance. Attendees whispered about his intimidating appearance, recognizing him as the rumored vampire Earl. The Duke, unaware of Diane's survival, was shocked. Having returned from the demonic realm, Cruel appeared before the Emperor, who praised him for reclaiming lost lands. The Emperor, raising a glass in celebration, introduced Cruel as the new hero. However, Diane's unexpected entrance disrupted the banquet, surprising everyone. Attendees speculated about Diane's identity and questioned his motives. Ignoring the whispers, Diane approached the Emperor and formally greeted him. Attendees continued to gossip about Diane's rumored vampiric nature and troubled past. The Duke, who had sent assassins after Diane, was bewildered by his unexpected return. Dayan, maintaining a grim smile, questioned the purpose of the banquet and suspected Cruel's presence. He considered the possibility of his older brother being made a hero. As the emperor looked at Dayan disapprovingly, Dayan apologized for the abrupt interruption. In a private office, the emperor, acknowledging the ambush, inquired if Dayan needed medical attention. Dayan, refusing, confirmed that the Revolutionary Army was responsible for the attack. The emperor, unaware of the tracking spell, believed Dayan weakened due to the Demon King's curse. He revealed his intention to send Dayan back to the Demon Kingdom to break the curse. Dayan, understanding the emperor's plan, accepted the mission and acknowledged the emperor's use of him as a spy. The emperor informed Dayan about his elevated status in the Demon Kingdom, making him the commander of the Zero Squad. Dayan was surprised by the emperor's knowledge and apologized for not refusing the Demon King's offer. The emperor, rather than expressing anger, praised Dayan's acceptance in the Demon Kingdom, emphasizing its strategic value. He encouraged Dayan to gather information and affirmed that the more accepted Dayan was, the easier it would be to acquire intelligence. Curious about Dayan's true motive for the meeting, the emperor asked him to reveal his concerns. Dayan questioned the emperor's decision to make Cruel a hero, knowing Dayan's resentment towards his older brother. Dayan shared a childhood memory, recalling a dinner where Cruel, after practicing, rejected Dayan's dirty hand, leaving a lasting impact. Dayan expressed regret for not killing Cruel, the only other survivor of the Hart family. Dayan remembered the days when he tried hard to overcome his weaknesses and gain recognition from his family. In a vivid dream, he relived a childhood memory of being scolded by his father for being late to the imperial family banquet. The family dynamics were strained, with his father emphasizing the need for secrecy regarding Dayan's weaknesses. As Dayan stood waiting with his brother Cruel, he was approached by other children who knew his name. Surprised by the attention, Dayan engaged in conversation. The children, however, revealed hurtful rumors about him being the black sheep of the Hart family, locked away because he was a monster. Unable to bear the insults, Dayan punched one of the boys, leading to a physical altercation before losing consciousness. Upon returning home, Dayan's weak condition prompted concern from the family doctor. His parents, saddened by the news, expressed worry about his well-being. Cruel, seemingly indifferent, assured Dayan that he didn't need to do anything special. However, his brother's harsh words lingered, calling Dayan a monster and suggesting abandonment. Dayan woke up to the reality of his parents' distress, questioning him about the fight at the palace. His attempts to explain were met with his father's disappointment and a temporary restriction from leaving the house. Dayan, isolated in his room, felt the weight of his family's disappointment. Determined to earn recognition, Dayan intensified his studies and practiced diligently. The servants expressed sympathy for his efforts, but Dayan remained focused on proving himself. Despite moments of envy while observing his family's joy from a distance, Dayan pushed himself to overcome his weaknesses. As years passed, Dayan's seclusion became the norm. The butler and remember inquired about his dining preferences. One day, Cruel unexpectedly entered Dayan's room, questioning why he continued training. Dayan, eager to please, apologized and retreated to his room. Cruel, surprised by the change in his brother's behavior, suggested a game of chess. During the chess game, Dayan, now 14 years old, maintained politeness, remembering the times when Cruel used to visit occasionally. Cruel mentioned their parents' business due to the country's chaos. Dayan, understanding but feeling a sense of estrangement, reflected on the complexities of family dynamics. Dayan's mind was a tumult of confusing memories, a jumble of moments he couldn't quite piece together. As he grappled with the fragments of his past, he found himself in the imperial banquet hall, facing a girl named Lean Reiner. The last thing he remembered was the ambush by the Revolutionary Army, but now, within the palace walls, his memory was a blank canvas. Lean Reiner introduced herself, breaking Dayan's uneasy thoughts. He questioned the reason behind the banquet, genuine confusion etched across his face. Cruel, his older brother, appeared, adding that the celebration was in honor of the new hero, Cruel Hart. Dayan's mind reeled, unsure if this was reality or a twisted dream. Dayan greeted his brother, hoping to see the familiar green eyes and dark hair that marked the Hart family. Cruel recounted encountering the Demon Army's Zero Squad leader during an expedition, acknowledging Dayan's command on the battlefield. He suggested they join forces, but Dayan dismissed the idea as absurd, finding no reason to fight alongside his brother. Despite Dayan's attempts to distance himself, Cruel persisted, expressing concern about Dayan's well-being after a supposed monster-killing mission. Dayan, harboring resentment, saw through the feigned worry, rebuffing any notion of sharing his vulnerabilities with his brother. The tension between the brothers lingered, with memories of abandonment and indifference casting a shadow over their interaction. As Cruel hesitated to leave, Duke Usterstra, a prominent figure opposing the Emperor, intervened. The Duke, observing the strained relationship between the brothers, commented on the apparent sentimentality. Cruel acknowledged the Duke with a bow, but Usterstra dismissed formality, revealing a sly smile. The air thickened with unspoken tension as the banquet unfolded, each moment driving Diane deeper into a maze of conflicted emotions and unanswered questions. Duke Usterstra, alongside Cruel Heart, departed the banquet, their discussion veering toward the apparent disrespect Diane had shown to the guest of honor, the Crown Prince Elpidis. The Duke expressed his indignation, condemning Diane's behavior and the Emperor's leniency. Cruel, in turn, defended his actions, explaining that he sought to preserve the festive atmosphere in the presence of the esteemed guests. The Duke, not entirely convinced, chastised Cruel for being too kind to his brother, sensing an ulterior motive. Cruel had sought the Duke's sponsorship, pledging to become the best sword in the Duke's hands. Reflecting on their past conversation, the Duke couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to Cruel's intentions than met the eye. In a candid moment, Cruel revealed his true motive: protection from Diane Hart. The Duke, pleased with this revelation, understood that Diane posed a significant threat to the Empire, identifying him as the Emperor's loyal dog. In the Duke's eyes, eliminating Diane was imperative for the Empire's safety. Meanwhile, Diane, accompanied by Lean, returned home only to find his house in flames. The sight left him stunned and enraged, questioning the sudden turn of events. His squad, seemingly responsible for the chaos, greeted him joyously. Diane, perplexed and angry, accused them of turning his house into a zoo for rabid dogs. As the confusion settled, Diane's instincts kicked in when he caught a bomb thrown at him. He swiftly retaliated by hurling it away, preventing potential harm. A bloodied man emerged from the smoke, praising Diane as a true hero for thwarting the surprise attack. The revelation that the Revolutionary Army had reached his home surprised Diane. Concerned for his squad's fate, Diane questioned if they had been expelled for causing trouble. To his surprise, they embraced him, expressing joy that their captain cared for them. Diane, amidst the chaos, found solace in the loyalty of his squad and the unexpected assistance of Lean. The shadows of betrayal and danger loomed, and Diane realized that the turbulent times were far from over. Indignation spread through Diane's estate as conflicts erupted between his knights and the higher-ranking Imperial knights. Observing the chaos from his window, Diane recognized that tensions between the two factions were long-standing and inevitable. Remember, the ever-stoic butler explained that the Emperor had sent the higher knights on continuous missions, and their return to Diane's command had escalated existing rivalries. The power struggle among knights was a persistent challenge. Diane, troubled by the ongoing disputes, questioned Remember about the Emperor's decision to return the High Knights to him. Remember suggested it might stem from the Emperor's concern for Diane's well-being. Diane, skeptical, argued that it was a standard practice to return family knights, emphasizing loyalty. However, Remember insisted that the Emperor wouldn't have reinstated the Earl's troops if he didn't believe in Diane's loyalty. The conversation shifted to the management of the estate. Diane discovered that the Emperor had transferred ownership of the lands back to him during his absence. Shocked and unaware of this development, Diane felt a surge of frustration. Remember mentioned that the official document confirming the transfer was somewhere in the room. In the midst of this revelation, Diane pondered the implications. He contemplated the burden of the Hart estate, haunted by memories both bitter and painful. The return of ownership stirred conflicting emotions within him. He resented the responsibility, the unwanted gift that came with the title of Count, which he had accepted under the pretext of safeguarding the Empire's borders. As the conflicts among his knights unfolded and the weight of the estate settled upon him, Diane found himself grappling not only with external challenges, but also with the internal struggles of his past. The unspoken tension within the Hart estate hinted at a complex tapestry of loyalty, duty, and the scars of battles waged on multiple fronts. Diane, taken aback by the unexpected arrival of the Crown Prince and General Nemesius, found himself grappling with the tension in the room. Unprepared for such esteemed guests, Diane's unease deepened, especially given the general's apparent disdain for him. The guests were ushered into Diane's study, where the Crown Prince expressed apologies for the incident at the banquet. Princess Alia's behavior had raised concerns, and she was duly reprimanded by her brother, Crown Prince Oppius. Alia, in her distress, feared that her actions had irreparably damaged her chances with Diane. The Crown Prince, however, reassured her that Diane's recent bout of illness was unrelated to her actions. The conversation took an unexpected turn as Alia revealed her desire to be with Diane and suggested leveraging a scandal to solidify their connection. Crown Prince Oppius, concerned about the potential impact on the imperial family, urged his sister to reconsider. Despite Alia's determination, the Crown Prince remained skeptical of her intentions. In the midst of this familial drama, the Crown Prince subtly stroked Alia's head, a gesture that surprised both her and Diane. The Crown Prince emphasized that Alia had the freedom to abandon her plans, but she remained steadfast in her pursuit. The visit, ostensibly to address the incident at the banquet, revealed another agenda. The Crown Prince and General Nemesius sought to enlist Diane's assistance. However, Diane sensed an undercurrent and couldn't fathom why they had come. The Crown Prince apologized for the banquet incident and broached the subject of friendship. Surprised by the request, Diane's skepticism grew. Alia, despite her earlier distress, pleaded for Diane to accept the Crown Prince's offer.